Knicks last team in the division. 65-1 to win the division. Probably not taking that. Plus 125 for the play-in. Tasty.
Yeah.
Plus 220 to make the playoffs. Slightly tasty. And their over-under is 38.5. And the case for them is they did not have a point guard last year. They had to play Julius Randle as basically a point forward, which was a disaster. He hated it as much as anyone else. They have a lot of pieces. Russillo, is this our number one trade machine team? Because you can come up with any trade with these guys. You can grab the Fournier contract. You can throw Randle in there. I can do a 4-for-1, a 5-for-1. I feel like they're going to be active. I think they're in weight. I think the Mitchell thing wet their beak for a big trade. The price was too prohibitive.
Well, the problem is they kept wanting to keep all their assets for the guy they got after Mitchell. Right. And I don't think that they truly believed that Cleveland was a real threat. And I think they kind of waited it out going, well, we still have the best offer. I don't think the RJ contract was as detrimental to a deal getting done with Utah. As
well, don't you think they really liked RJ? I think they were, I think they felt like,
I think they would have done the deal. And
for what it was, which was RJ and 2 firsts.
Yeah.
I think they would have done that deal.
I think they did a bad job gauging the interest of Cleveland. I think they just kind of thought they didn't have as much competition for it.
I like that play-in number a lot, that plus odds for them to be in the play-in, because I think that they absolutely leap over Charlotte, and I'm skeptical about Chicago as well. So all they need to finish is between 7 and 10, and the plus money odds for that play-in, that's good value.
So the play-in argument for them, Russillo, is that these 5 teams would be worse than them: Detroit, Washington, Orlando, Charlotte, and Indiana. That seems like a safe bet. I'm worried of Detroit for that bet. Detroit would be the one that we'll get to them in a second, but I think they could be a little sneakier than maybe people realize. There's also a possibility Chicago falls out of there and it's even easier for them to make it.
That's it.
I'm with you. I like the play-in bet for them. There's a couple of things with the Knicks I just wanted to mention quickly. Fournier's turned into like this, he just like, oh, he sucks. He gets thrown into trades. I don't know. I kind of value him as he's overpriced, but if he was $6 million a year and he was on your bench, you'd be like, cool, we have Evan Fournier.
Nobody this good at shooting would be $6 million a year. I mean, he's 40% over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, he's not a disaster.
No, but he's weird in that he wasn't good enough to get a first, but then he was good enough to get $70 million. And then as soon as he got the $70 million, which again, the last year is not fully guaranteed, it was like, we got to get this guy out of here.
Yeah, like, so he's slightly better than that.
Like, yeah. I would take him. That number was still kind of big, and he was in. I think wasn't he offered back to Boston for like just the exception?
Yeah, and they didn't take it.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. I feel like.
Well, then it becomes a tax calculation where you're just like,
I get it. Whatever. But he's on the roster. It's not like he's bad. RJ will be better. They're young guards. I mean, they're doing a PR campaign for the guards, but I don't mind their guards. Cam Reddish looks like he can't play. I was wrong on that one.
Do you think there's any version of events where a month in, Knicks fans are like, Jalen Brunson? Where they think he's just been waiting.
We thought you were the guy?
Well, we just thought you were a tier above what you are. And I like Jalen Brunson, but I think for New York and a lot of the Northeast towns.
Couple boo birds 2 weeks in.
I'm just saying like the Northeast cities that we all know and understand, whether we grew up there or have friends there, a little myopic. And you're like, hey, $100 million guy, we fucking got him. We got him. We got Jalen Brunson. And then you're like, oh, he's all right.
What do you think of that, House?
Well, I think I live in a bubble with Knicks fans who are savvy enough basketball fans, because the summer experience was, we do not want Donovan Mitchell at this price. We don't want Donovan Mitchell at this price. That's what all the Knicks fans in my life were saying. So they were satisfied with Brunson because they have reasonable expectations for what Brunson's going to be. But that might just be the Knicks people that I'm friends with.
The problem for Brunson, like last year, he was 16-5 a game. He shot 50%. All the stuff that's great about him is like, you want him in a playoff series. He's a good advanced metrics guy. If the Knicks fans are going to these games, which I don't think they will because it's a pretty sophisticated fan base, if they're going to the game like, man, Jalen Brunson only has 6 at halftime. What the fuck? Whoa, we blew it. Like, he's going to have games like that. He's not going to be a come see Jalen Brunson as he scores 38 against the Wizards. He's not that kind of guy. But I value having that dude on his team, and I think Dallas is going to miss him.
Yeah, especially when you don't have to give up anything other than just money.
Yeah, no brainer. They didn't have to pay him a max. What was he, 25 a year?
Yeah.
The cap's going to go way up in 2 years anyway.
No, he's turned
himself
into a hell of a player. And that's why looking at this number is really weird, because you're going, wait, like they're 38 and a half, and last season they won 37 games. And I remember going into last year in this exercise, because I felt like going into that Atlanta series 2 years ago, I go, there's no way I'm picking the Knicks. This is like a weird fluky thing. Like, I got that one right. And the Tibbs, like, they were the COVID team that was more locked in.
Right.
And it was this whole, and when you saw them play Atlanta in that playoff series 2 years ago, you're like, this isn't even close.
It was over and a half.
Yeah. Right. Like, they just have much more, their high end talent is so much more than these guys. Then the Randall thing's nasty, which I guess, like, that's supposed to be fixed. Like, that got so fucking weird.
It's not fixed, and that's the single biggest concern with this team.
That's fixable, though.
How?
But I think that was a bigger deal.
You got a point guard.
It didn't become like it was lost because it was too far down in the NBA soap opera scale of like to be a real thing. But like the guy was playing at home and he's like letting him know how miserable he is there during games.
It was weird.
Yeah. It wasn't good.
I'm going over. One thing we didn't mention was this could be a last season standing for the administration. This is not a, hey, we're here for 5 years. Let's audible and tank for Wembanyama. This team wants to make the playoffs. They want to be good. They want to make a trade. They want to make a splash. They get New York. They have a chance now, if the Nets thing falls apart, to step in. And I think this team will try to be competitive. So over for me.
39 is reasonable. I like over.
I'll go under.
What is that? It's just classic Russillo Zag. I could see him.
Well, because 38 and 42.
I could see him staring at the U-turn sign, and he was like, wait a second. Hearing some buzz of overs.
Here's why these quarterback hits are roughing the passer.
I'm going to admit defeat on Cam Reddish. I even had a tweet after they made that trade. What a steal. What's Atlanta doing? He's not going to do it.
Didn't he ask out again?
Yeah, he might not have it.
Yeah.
Could be some time for Cam. Maybe it turns out having lunch with Clutch before you're a senior in high school might not have been the way to go.